Hey, what's up guys, and welcome to Xbox On. We were very lucky enough to go to a Halo Wars 2 event and get our hands on some Halo Wars 2 gameplay, which was a lot of fun. We got our first look at a brand new level to the Halo Wars 2 campaign, which I was slightly freaking out about.
Yeah, you're a big fan of the series, aren't you? I mean, the first game you
I played it a couple times because
Yeah.
Definitive Edition came around as well, and we streamed that on Xbox On, which was really fun. It kind of gave me an excuse before we went to this event to actually get hands-on and reuse to all the controls and stuff again, so then I wouldn't be as terrible. Because it's one of those things, whenever you leave a game for a while and you come back, you're just like, I've forgotten how to play, what's going on? But I was really happy with this because it's a lot of fun thing. There's loads of new features, there's loads of new improvements that I came across from playing it for the first time, and there's lots of little features that you're going to really enjoy if you play RTS games.
See, I think we're both sort of coming into this very differently. Like, I know that you're, like I said, you're a fan of the series and you've got some experience with it. I am really new to RTSs, like real-time strategies for me. I just have never really delved into, because usually associate them with sort of like PC games, and I just haven't gone down that route. So, you know, this is for me. Halo Wars 2, this was my first time sort of getting into it, and
I think that's the biggest thing that a lot of people don't like associate with RTS, is that they are a PC game, and the big thing with Halo Wars, it was the first RTS that was built from the ground up to be used and played with an Xbox controller. So every feature's kind of been taken into account, so it's easy to use and easy to play using the Xbox controller. But obviously, if you enjoy playing an RTS game on a PC and you use mouse and keyboard and you're like, even though I've tried the Xbox One controller and it's not perfect for me, you'll still be able to play it on Windows 10 with Xbox Play Anywhere.
You had a go on that, didn't you?
Yeah, so I did both. We'll save that bit for another video, right? Which is why you guys should subscribe, because we're going to have loads of Halo Wars 2 content right here. But the first thing I want to pick up on is actually all the new units.
Okay, so walk me through them.
Yeah, so the Cyclops was an anti-vehicle one, which we just saw kind of just absolutely destroy the choppers. And then the Spartan, this is a really cool feature, is obviously he's got the Spartan side, which helped him get onto another path, which is this whole new flanking route. It kind of reminded me of the original Halo series, where you'd be the Mars Chief and you'd take these routes away from like your Marines to kind of like gain access to like kind of the bridge panels and everything, so you can kind of progress through the level, and it's very similar to this and things like that. And obviously you've got features like hijack back again, so if you have a Spartan, you can take control of an enemy vehicle and then kind of use that against the enemy. So like a Wraith, if you need to kind of, you know, destroy some oncoming choppers like you do right here and kind of take out loads of vehicles and grunts, which is I thought was quite cool.
Yeah, no, it's nice. I'm liking it. So going back quickly to the controls, are they that different to the first Halo Wars?
So pretty much, if you play Halo Wars 1, you're going to just be able to pick it up straight away and know what you're doing. The biggest change that I noticed is with the RB and LB bumpers. So the RB button in Halo Wars 1 was just local units, which is all the units on screen. Then the LB button was selecting all your units in your army, so you could kind of control them all at once. However, in Halo Wars 2, they've made them both onto the RB button. So it's a single tap for local units and then double tap for all units, which just made it which frees up the LB button, which adds a feature which I personally thought was really needed in Halo Wars 1, which speeds your movement up across around the map, so you can whiz around a bit more like a mouse and keyboard would in an RTS game.
So at the moment, so you're picking up some goodies.
Yes.
Yeah.
The goodies.
The goodies.
I just remember, I can't believe I forgot this. This is something that I was really happy with. So while you're playing the game and you're progressing through the level, you will find either kind of these kind of, I think I'm pretty certain they're blue boxes, which are resources. And if you go over them, you'll pick them up instantly. In Halo Wars 1, you had to send a unit over who would then pick up the boxes, right?
So
and
slower.
then which is slower rather than just driving over them. So it's just kind of just making it a bit more intuitive and kind of making it so you can get your resources quickly rather than being like, I'll send one unit there to go grab all of them. It's just quickly run a warthog over and pick them up, and it carries over to multiplayer as well, which we'll also have another video on pretty soon.
Nice. So would you say, does it like feel to you more streamlined in general then?
Yeah, it's slick. Yeah. Like that's probably the easiest way of describing it. It's a lot slicker. Now, obviously, coming up to base building, right, which I found quite enjoyable as well. It's one of the things RTSs is just building your perfect base for your like strategies and stuff like that. So obviously, once you find the first location, it'll take a bit of time to bring in the base. It's like normally about 30-40 seconds, and then you got to make your you make your decisions.
Yeah.
And in this level, you're going up against a lot of vehicles. So there's loads of like kind of Wraith factories around the map. So you kind of angled into making like an air army. So because air is good against vehicles, troops are good against air. It's like it's a real rock paper scissors.
To say, yeah. So we're looking at the base you're making now. How do you go into deciding what's going to, like right now, what was going into your mind?
Well, first things first, you always need a supply pad and you always need generators. Supply pads are going to get you resources which you need to build troops and kind of just build your army up, and also get new buildings and upgrades and stuff like that. And then generators primarily focus on upgrading like your base and getting upgrades for your troops and stuff like that. So you need to make sure you've got those, so you get your constant streamline of resources, which you can see right next to your mini-map. And then you've got to decide what kind of army am I going to build. So I will tend to have quite a few supply pads and a couple of generators, and then I'll kind of focus around one kind of army focus. So I would personally always go and try and get an air pad for this level, because you're obviously going up against loads of wraiths and you want to get as many hornets as you can, which is pretty cool. So that's kind of what goes through your head, and then you just start building.
Okay, all right. So story-wise, give me a little bit of info here. What we're dealing with?
So Halo Wars 1 was set 20 years in the past of the events of the Halo events. Okay. Halo Wars 2, everyone's gone into cryo sleep and it's just kind of waiting around, and they drift and they get woken up because they go near the Ark. Now, people who've played Halo 3 will know what the Ark is. It's kind of like this huge Forerunner kind of construction, which is like the Master Chief's on. He kind of does a load of stuff with. So they've appeared here and they kind of like see the Banished down there. They go and explore and try to find out what's happened, and then they come across Atriox, who is the leader of the Banished, who has kind of left the Covenant. Obviously, I don't know the full ins and outs. I haven't played it yet.
We've still got a lot to learn.
But I know little bits and pieces, and it's just, if you're a Halo fan, it's just going to add even more to that Halo universe, which is really cool.
So tell me a little bit more about unit types.
So pretty much, as you kind of just saw there, you build various different units. So you've obviously got your infantry units, you've got your ground units, which are your vehicles, and then you've got your air units, which, as we mentioned earlier, is kind of like rock, paper, scissors. It's kind of like air beats vehicles, infantry beats air. So you kind of got to get a balance in your army, so you can counter what you're coming up against. Or if someone's just focusing on using like kind of ground units, just build an air army or something to counter them, which I think is really cool. And then obviously units have different special abilities. Like Warthogs have a ramming ability. So what you can do is you can press your Y button, and it means that using the Warthog, it will charge into the kind of like the enemy grunts and stuff, and just flatten them and do loads of extra damage. Or Marines get the grenade ability, so going up against buildings, they can then throw grenades and do loads of damage to them. Some vehicles have none at all. A bit like the Hornets, they don't really have a special ability other than they just fly in the air and just cause absolute carnage.
I guess they're nice and quick.
Yeah.
They're useful in that sense. So what's your personal favourite?
Personal favourite?
Yeah.
Thing is, it depends on what I'm playing as, because obviously you've got different armies in like a Halo Wars universe. In the campaign, you play as UNSC with Captain Cutter. So I quite enjoy kind of getting like loads of Hornets, but I also kind of have a little bit of a favourite thing with the Warthog Rush.
Okay.
So you just get an army of Warthogs.
Yeah.
Get like 30, 40 Warthogs or whatever, however many you can get at a time, and just like charge them all in one thing. It's just like this huge swift mob.
Yeah.
It's great.
That sounds brutal.
So obviously you're new to the kind of the whole RTS scene, and Halo Wars 2 is kind of your first go at the franchise. How did you find it? What did you think about it? And just kind of little bits.
Yeah, I found it really accessible actually. So obviously this level, it sort of guides you through it very slowly, bit by bit. It's teaching you what you need to do. And I could follow it. I was worried, I was a little bit concerned that I was going to be a bit overwhelmed and the controls were going to just blow me away and I wouldn't know what I was doing. But I feel like I got the hang of it pretty quick. And I really enjoyed it. I was really getting into it. Definitely in terms of a newbie coming into it, if you're a bit nervous about it, maybe like you love the Halo franchise, but you're not sure if you're going to be able to like take an RTS. I reckon it's worth a go. I mean, I want to play more personally.
It's like the thing is, I spent quite a lot of time playing at the event. I stayed there for nearly 2 days.
Yeah.
So I got a lot of playtime, and there's just so much on offer. Like from multiplayer, the new Blitz mode, which obviously people can play with in the beta.
Yes.
It's quite exciting, and if you're a Halo fan, you're just going to freak out, and you're going to love all the extra bits of stories. All right, so now this is where I start doing the main objective. Now what you'll realise is I send my Hornets over, and they can't capture the actual objective point. That's because those sort of objectives need infantry units to kind of gain control of them, and they've just got to be like in proximity to it to start getting control. And then you've got to try in this level get control of all 3, so you can kind of progress to the end of the level. But they'll always be like defended by places, and kind of also another thing is like you'll find around the map these kind of power silos and stuff, so you can get extra resources.
Okay, but you can't pick them up with your aircrafts, can you? You've got to get your troops.
You've got to get ground troops in them, because it's kind of like realistic in that sense. It's just kind of, you need to be on the ground to grab it. So obviously this is where like having a barracks is really useful, because I just kind of get some Marines from the kind of the main hub. From here. Which I can then send out to kind of help to take control of it, rather than going to my main base and sending them a lot further. So it just speeds stuff up.
So visually, kind of comparing it to original Halo Wars, can you pick up those little details, and it makes it feel a bit, kind of like more immersive?
Well, Definitive Edition looks incredible as well. Obviously, Halo Wars 1 came out a while ago now. So it's just come on so far, and it's all the small little minor details, because when you think about it at later stages in the game, especially in multiplayer, you get so many units on screen at once, and to make it look that good with that much stuff and crazy like action going on is really, really cool. So there we have it, guys. That is the end of our first look at the Halo Wars 2 campaign. I hope you enjoyed it. Let us know what you think in the comments below. And also, if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button, because we're gonna have so much awesome content for Halo Wars 2 right here on Xbox On.
Yeah, and don't forget to smash that like button if you enjoyed this video. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.